You don't see these too often, these movie reviews with your big boy buddy Gore. Now, I have a feeling there's going to be some people that have not watched my videos before watching this, because I'm going to be posting this pretty much right when the review embargo goes up, because I got a chance to see this movie early. Of course, I'm talking about Return to Silent Hill. Now, this is going to be just a straight-up long-form review. I do have notes here. I'm going to try not to show them because there's going to be some spoilers. I'll put up a tag either in the title or the description or the comments or all three, I don't know, pointing you to the spoilers, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to know ahead of time because the movie's not out yet. And also, even when it comes out, you might not be able to see it, because I'll tell you right here, there ain't no screenings near me. The nearest screening is literally 35 miles away. Ain't no way. So I'm glad I got a chance to watch this early. I even watched it twice. Ooh. Just to prepare for this. If you don't know, Return to Silent Hill, of course, is an adaptation of the game Silent Hill 2. I'm sure you already know that. And it is amazing. It's a masterpiece. It really is. It's one of the scariest games of all time. So I've only played it about, I would say, a whole time, just once, with a friend back when I was younger. And I've started it multiple times again. It really is terrifying. I'm not even kidding when I said it might be the scariest thing I've ever experienced when it comes to like media. It's terrifying. Silent Hill, I think, is just a terrifying. I don't even want to get into some of the later stages in Silent Hill 2. Come on. The Historical Society? Nah, fuck that. It's just terrifying. It's a Silent Hill as a series. So I like to experience that. I've played it once. I played the first 2, 3. I finished all 3 of the. I would say I'm pretty sure I finished 4 also. The 4 original games, but most of the time I like to experience this. I'm gonna be honest, as a watcher, because I prefer the stories and the atmosphere of Silent Hill when I'm not playing it, because I shit my pants. So, but what makes Silent Hill 2 so special is its story. Its story is fantastic. The way it really, I don't even know how else to say it besides just like, it doesn't spell it all out for you. It lets you slowly piece it together, and even if you don't piece it all together at the end, guess what? There's plenty of people on the fucking internet that'll help you out, because I'm sure there's gonna be some people that still, like, if they play Silent Hill 2, the original, or the remake, they'll be like, I don't know what's happening. Why did this happen? I'm not gonna spoil anything in the game. I'll save that for later when I get into spoilers for this. Some of the fun is actually learning like all this stuff through people's theories, and also just like confirm things that people like piece together. It's a fun series to experience on the internet, is what I'm trying to say. That's why that meme of like a huge Silent Hill fan plays the game for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, that's a meme for the Silent Hill community. There's a reason for that, because it's just so much fun to experience it, because the stories are so great, especially too. So I was, I guess I was excited for this movie. I guess I was. I don't know. I've watched every trailer and stuff, except for the last few clips that have come out, because I've already seen the movie at that point. So there was no point in me doing reactions for those clips, because there was a bunch of clips that came out, and I was like, well, I'm not going to react to them because I've already seen the movie. So there's no point. And I didn't want to let anybody know I've already seen the movie exactly. So I skipped those, because I saw them already. But I was covering the movie and the posters and the freaking teasers and even a leaked trailer that came out over the last couple years. And I'm just gonna get to it. I mean, I know I'm 4 minutes in. This is gonna be a long discussion. I'm gonna say right here. I did not hate the movie. I definitely didn't. I went into this expecting it to be a very different version of Silent Hill 2. And for the most part, yeah. It is. It does follow the story. I mean, kinda. I mean, a lot of things happen. He goes to particular places you expect James to go to. There might be a hospital or a hotel. You know what I mean? Like, he goes to these places that you would expect. There might be some fog. There might be some lying figures, and there might be a guy in a bed. There might be a moth character, let's just say. And there might be a guy with a pyramid on his head, and then there are, of course, nurses. But it's a lot of like aesthetic stuff, like I know that. oh, the decayed walls and stuff, and ooh, disgusting floors, and oh, there's some bugs, you know. But for the most part, the story itself is like, I would say like 50% the same. The other 50%, they changed so much stuff, and I'm so... After watching it twice, I did a reaction my first time watching it, which will not be up until it's available on digital, by the way. But I liked it more the first time I watched it. I watched it a second time because I felt like this is something I need to watch a second time without, you know, the cameras and all, you know, the light blaring in front of me, and also me trying to be stupid and funny. And also talking about like, oh, this is like that and that and like this, you know. I had to watch it again, and my second time watching it really made me realize that, yeah, it's not as accurate as I was giving it like 60%. Even 50% is probably too much, honestly. Because the story itself is fine. If you watch this without watching any Silent Hill, you'd probably be, I mean, or playing any Silent Hill or watching it, you'd probably be confused. I actually think you'd be like, what the fuck is happening? But if you play Silent Hill 2 and you know it completely and you know everything about it, or even if you just played it once or twice, or you really like it, or you think it's cool, or the story's cool but you don't like the game, whatever, you're gonna go into this and you're gonna watch it and you're gonna understand like, oh, it's like that but they changed this and that. But my problem is that the game, I'm sorry, I keep saying the game, the movie itself changes so fucking much in terms of like who the characters are and their backstories, and fucking to the point where characters' last names are different. Which I didn't even catch the first time I watched it. I was like, oh yeah, Crane. Yeah, wait, what the fuck? That's not her last name. And if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That's not a spoiler. It was just weird because they changed things that didn't need to be changed. Because overall, the story itself, if you really describe it in a very quick way, it's the same, I guess, but there's a lot of different, I don't know, it's weird. All right, let's get to it. Yeah, let me talk about the positives. I'm gonna talk about the positives. Don't pause this to see my notes, okay? All right, so so I started writing notes as just like bulletins, but then I swapped halfway through to positives and negatives, so I'm just gonna skip those and just go straight to, all right, I'll do positive and I'll do a negative, okay? Some of the positives. I actually like the acting. I will say Jeremy Irvine, who plays James Sunderland, not only looks nothing like James, he doesn't really act like James. He's a completely different character. His name is James. He loves someone named Mary, and he says Mary a lot. That's about it. Well, we'll get to that later. But I thought he did a good job. I liked his narration in it. He's fine. There's a lot of like goofy shots of him going ooh and stuff. You can see that in the trailer. Which the first time I watched it, I was like really watching it, wanting it to be good, so I didn't really laugh at that stuff. The second time, there was some over the top scenes. There was one where him and Pyramid Head do it at the same time, where again, I'll get into spoilers why he does this, but he does it a few times. But he goes and then even Pyramid Head's like which would make sense if you know who Pyramid Head's supposed to be. But yeah, I think his acting for the most part is good. I really liked Hannah Emily Anderson. I thought she was good. She plays multiple roles, obviously, Mary and Maria, and maybe some other. We'll get to it. But I thought she was good. As Mary, she's solid. You know, a solid performance. But I really liked her as Maria. I think she did a good job of differentiating between the performances, which you would want, obviously. And yeah, I think her performances are solid. I'll give you another positive. The score, of course. I was going to say Akira Toriyama. God damn it, son of a bitch. Akira Yamaoka. Anyway, of course, comes back to anything Silent Hill. I'd go like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I don't care. Yeah, Silent Hill. Did he score Book of Memories, the Vita game? I bet he did. Anyway, he'll just do anything Silent Hill. Even things that are Silent Hill adjacent. Like he came back for that Medium game, which was from Bloober, who of course did Silent Hill 2. And of course he also did the 2 movies that came out before. Actually, is that true? He did the original Silent Hill movie, right? I know he definitely did Revelation, that was probably the only good thing in that fucking movie. Well, I mean, that movie's so bad it's funny, I'll give it that. But anyway, the score is really good in here. Of course, there's the music you expect to hear in Silent Hill 2. There's not a lot of here's this song, you know what I mean? Like, they don't blast the soundtrack. For the most part, it's pretty subtle. which I don't know if people are gonna like that exactly, but I appreciated that it wasn't like, you know, it was like the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio gift from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when a music or a song starts playing, you're like, you know, I get it, I've seen it. Anyway, now let's get to some of the negatives, okay? Characters. Again, this is going to be non-spoilers, so I'll get through this quick because I will really talk about this more later. I don't like some of the changes, let's just say. There's changes, definitely. First of all, I already said James doesn't feel like James at all. He just feels like a guy. He's a painter in this. We'll get to that later. Mary, let's just say they completely changed Mary. She's not the same character. Just almost at all. I mean, she loves James. That's about it. And there's other characters. Eddie does show up. Laura's in it, of course, Angela. There's a few other supporting characters, I guess you would call them that. I just don't think the characters are done as well. They're fine in its own context. So just Silent Hill 2, or sorry, Return to Silent Hill. If you never watched or played 2, the movie or the game, fucking hell, then yeah, it's fine. But I really don't like some of the changes to their characters, and I also don't like changes to just the plot itself. Not all of them. There's some good ones I didn't mind, but there's certain ones I can't talk about right now. We'll get to it later. The set design, we're gonna go back to positives. Set design is pretty good. They do exactly what you think. It has like that kind of rustic look at times. You know, destroyed walls and disgusting floors, and the town of Silent Hill looks pretty good. You can tell they filmed with green screen or the volume or the fuck. But it doesn't look bad, especially since this probably has a very small budget. I think this was like financed not by a big studio. I think it was just kind of like self-funded. I don't think it was self-funded, but I don't think it was funded like Silent Hill, the original one, and even the second movie that came out, which was based on 3, obviously. So, and which both have Pyramid Head, which we don't need to get into. I really like that original Silent Hill movie, but it's just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, you know, fine, whatever. I'd rather have something like Silent Hill, the 2006 movie, than Silent Hill Revelation. They both have Pyramid Head. At least Silent Hill 2006 is not bad. I like it. I do. Sorry. And Christoph Gans obviously directed that. He directed this. I did like some changes. There are some changes I do like. There's a reveal later on in the movie that I actually, at first I was like, and then I was like, you know what? Actually, that kind of fits with Silent Hill. We'll get to it later. You know, I'm saying our positives. Special effects. Considering this is probably a small budget, yes, the special effects don't look amazing. But they don't look bad at all. They look pretty solid for what I'm assuming is a very small budget. I keep hearing reports of like $20 million, which is, I think I want to say about the same price that last Silent Hill movie came out. I think that was also a $20 million budget, and that looked like dog shit. To be fair, it came out 13 years ago, but to be fair, 13 years ago, we've had movies that looked great. So it's not really an excuse to say like, well, it was 13 years ago, though, of course it's going to look better, or 14, sorry. But I don't really agree with using that as an excuse, because it's just, I mean, there's a lot of great looking movies in 2012. I mean, 3 years earlier we had Avatar, which I know we can't compare, I know, but like District 9 was 2009, and that still looks great, and it had a $30 million budget. So I don't know, the special effects look like goofy trash. And Revelation, I keep calling it the second Silent Hill movie, which I shouldn't. But the special effects here, not bad. There's actually a couple of like pretty good like kills too. You don't really see a lot of death in this movie. And for what they're probably working with, it looks pretty good. And they also go for practical with a lot of the creatures. Some of them not so much, like the lying figures. You could tell that they were practical, and then they CG'd them up a little bit. But to be fair, it's not like The Thing, that 2011 prequel, where they CG'd over like really good looking practical stuff. It actually works here, kind of. The lying figures look fine. All right, let's get to some negative. The pacing. I feel like there's times where like the movie itself is pretty short. If you don't count the credits, it's like maybe like an hour and 40 minutes. And so 100 minutes. The pacing, while not terrible, definitely not. I felt like there's times where it just goes way too fast for scenes, like particular scenes. Like I feel like a lot of there's flashbacks, let's say, which is not something. There's a lot of flashbacks, let's just say. And I just don't think, and they did add something to this story, but I feel like they went by too fast. And there's times where the editing is crazy, and it does get a little goofy. There's one scene later on, Again, I can't talk about spoilers. Let's just say there's a... Well, I could talk about it because they kind of show it in the trailer. So if it's shown in the trailer, I'll talk about it a little bit. There's like some cult aspect to this. And there's a scene later on that is disturbing, but the editing and it makes it kind of goofy, a little too goofy. I already said this, but the green screen, some of the green screen stuff is not great, or the volume. I think they used the volume. I'm gonna assume, because there's times where it kind of looked like that. It's the same thing that the Mandalorian used. That'll be my guess. I'll say another negative. I just wrote corny. The movie at times gets really corny, especially in the flashbacks when they're trying to show James and Mary's relationship, and it's like, you don't really buy it that much. Where like the Silent Hill 2 game both of them do a great job of not showing you too much of their relationship in the past. Just you really feel it through James's desperation, you know, especially in Silent Hill 2 remake. Like, I love the original game. Guy Seehee, I can't remember the actor's name, the voice actor. I think it's Guy something. Guy Seehee, I think that's his name. Anyway, that's the voice of James in the original one. You know, he does a good job too. He sounds very desperate, and that kind of voice acting really worked for Silent Hill 2 original. And Luke Roberts is fantastic in Silent Hill 2 the remake, and they do a great job with the writing of both of those games of just like making it feel like you truly believe he loves this woman. Here, it just gets a little too corny. Like, it's just, there's scenes where they do, like, we're frolicking in the flowers, and oh, I love you, I love you too. You know, it's just, like, very, like, you're trying too hard to make us care, you know? And even the beginning scene is kind of corny. I mean, not even kind of, it's really corny, where, like, he almost hits her with his car and stuff. It's like, what? Very different, obviously. We don't really see the backstory in the game, at least not in the beginning, really. You don't really see it. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so, all right, let's go back to positives. I would say whenever it gets faithful, when it comes to, like, even, like, the camera work and certain, like, designs of creatures and, like, even the set design and stuff, and when it gets to the story and actually keeps faithfulness, it's pretty good. I just wish it was more faithful with the story. It really does... It goes different directions. It's so weird because they were doing pretty well when it sticks to the story of Silent Hill 2. I understand they want to do something different, and I understand Christoph Gans is actually a fan of Silent Hill. I believe he is, but I also believe he's a filmmaker that wants to do his own thing at times too. I understand that as well. So just the same thing with Silent Hill 1, the movie. He changed Harry to Rose, you know. Harry's still in it, but Rose is the main character, and they changed certain things about like for the most part that's still pretty accurate for the most part. Obviously Pyramid Head's there, but like it's close enough, you know. Again, we don't need to talk about Revelation, but because he didn't direct that, so I think he was going to, and then he dropped out because I think the script fucking sucked dick or something like that. I don't even remember. There was some reason why he dropped out. I don't remember. But it was a good choice because the movie sucks ass. But I just don't really understand why they didn't keep with it. Because, like, I get it. He wants to do something different. But, like, the stuff that was faithful actually worked pretty well in this. A lot of the camera work and stuff like that is really good. Cinematography looks really nice in this movie, too. Like... And, yeah, his direction is solid, and the creatures look really good at times. Like, again, like I said, there's some CG here and there. There's one spider creature that's new, which reminded me of that fucking stupid mannequin creature from Silent Hill Revelation, which was a stupid addition. It sucked. I remember being at New York Comic Con, and they showed that clip of that fucking stupid CG dumb-looking mannequin turning another girl into a mannequin. It was so stupid. I hated it. I mean, all right, I can't say I hate that movie. That movie's so hilariously terrible. It has a Pop-Tart jump scare. That's not even a joke. Anyway, yeah, it's just like when it sticks to the practical, like Pyramid Head looks really good. There's a scene later on with a certain boss that you see that you barely see it in the movie, but it's a quick glimpse. And I was like, you know what? They went practical, and I appreciate that. They went as practical as possible, and I appreciate that. And yeah, so my last negative, just real quick. Jeremy Irvine is British. You can fucking tell in this movie. I just want to throw that out there. That accent kept coming out. And no, he's not supposed to be British in this. They didn't make James British. You could tell. And I want to say Hannah Emily Anderson, who plays Mary, might also be British. I'm not 100% sure. Her accent, it sounds like there was an accent in there. I could be wrong. I didn't look that up. But his kept popping out, in and out throughout the movie. At least I heard it. Also, there's a really bad looking beard towards the end. I just want to say that. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was fake. It looked fake to me. I've watched it both times and thought it looked fake. Someone could let me know. No, it's real. I don't know. It looked bad to me. Maybe Jeremy Irvine can't grow a beard. That doesn't look stupid. You know, doesn't look beautiful like this one. Anyway. All right. So now we're going to get into... actually, before we get into spoilers, I just want to give a wrap up of what I think of the movie just real quick. Because I need to talk about spoilers to really give you a good sense of what I think. But overall, the movie itself tells its story well enough. It's just not as strong as the game. It just isn't. Like it goes through the motions. It has characters that you'll recognize. They're not exactly the same characters, but they do scenes that you would expect to see. They don't do other scenes that you expect to see. Of course, the game itself, the original is like what, about a 10-hour game. The remake is like what, 15 hours. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff they have to cut. Obviously, you're not gonna see like James wandering around solving puzzles. That's just not gonna happen. It just doesn't. There's a lot of him running around. And then, there's there's a spider mannequin. There's a bunch of bugs. You know, there's not a lot of action too. I mean, he fights a couple things here and there, but for the most part, it's, you know, it's running and then maybe hitting a couple things, then running, hiding, you know. And there's like scenes that you expect to see, like the Pyramid Head scene where he's like in the closet and stuff looking out, but it's different, which didn't bother me at all really, but like, it's definitely different. If you're coming in expecting the exact same thing except live action, you're just not gonna get it. Just play Silent Hill 2 Remake or just watch the cutscenes. I mean, the graphics in that game are so fucking good. I mean, they look better than the special effects in this movie. You might as well just watch that. You'll get more of it. You'll get better acting. This is the thing. When you remake Silent Hill 2 and you have graphics that look fantastic, and you can just watch all the cutscenes and get a good amount of what is so great about the story from those cutscenes, then obviously you should play the game. But I'm just saying you can still get something from it. Then I just don't see the point of a fucking live action remake. Whatever. Anyway, I said I was looking forward to it. I'm like, whatever. All right, I gotta get the spoilers. So overall, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was great. I don't think it's as good as the first Silent Hill movie because I prefer 2's story over 1. So you could kind of do what you want with 1 story for me. I mean, 1 story is really good. Don't get me wrong. Lisa. Anyway, but this is a tragic figure right there. This is just a better attempt than Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I'll say that. There you go. It's better than Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. And that movie did the same thing where they took characters and made them completely different. That movie just, I'm sorry, I didn't like that movie. This one I liked a little bit better because I feel like there was an earnest attempt to tell the story, but in Christoph Gans and whoever else wrote its own way. And I appreciated that he tried to do something different, but still stick with the overall story, but tell it differently. Now I need to get to spoilers because it's killing me. I need to talk about this stuff. I wrote down points, and these are just going to be out of order entirely. So, we are in spoilers now. If you want to see the movie, good luck, because it doesn't seem like it's coming out in a lot of theaters. But it will probably be out very soon, right after. I'm sure it'll be out in like a couple weeks. It's most likely on digital I'm talking about. So, let's get to it. First thing I need to talk about is Mary. Now, first of all, Mary's character is completely different. I already said this in the spoiler-free portion. Mary's character in this is not, she's not even the same person. Not almost at all, really. I mean, she loves James. Again, that's it. First of all, it's to the point where she doesn't even have the same fucking name. Her name is Mary Crane, which I didn't look this up, but I think there's a character in Silent Hill lore named Crane. I didn't look it up. But, because even though I really like Silent Hill, I love Silent Hill, I'm not fully invested in every single piece of lore, you know what I mean? So, I mean, there's going to be Silent Hill people out there that will probably correct me here and there, which is totally fine. Please do. But her name's Mary Crane in this, which the first time I watched it, I didn't even fucking notice they said Mary Crane. I was like, Mary Crane, yeah, okay. That's right. I was like, wait, hold on. It's Shepard. I knew that. The fuck? I definitely knew that. So they changed her name, which... in the context of this movie doesn't really make sense because they, all right. Mary's backstory is she lived in Silent Hill. Silent Hill was a normal town, and she was the daughter of a cult leader. Straight up, that's where the cult is. And her father, something Crane, I don't know, fucking Jebediah Crane, I don't even know. And they said his name, I don't give a fuck. He was, I guess, just this leader of a cult. They don't really go into the cult too much. There's a cult. It's Silent Hill. You expect a cult. And I don't know, I think it might have been the same cult from the original movie and the original game. I'm not 100% sure. You can look and see the symbol and stuff. But it doesn't really matter in the context here. All you need to know is cult bad. And she's a part of a cult. Now, her backstory gets really dark in this movie, but they don't really get too deep into it like they would if this was the game. They do talk about potential... you know what? We'll get to it. That's going to spoil something else. We'll get to it. I'm sorry. Yeah, her backstory is different. She acts differently than Mary does. Like I said, there's a bunch of flashbacks where we get to see Mary and James talk. There's even scenes where we get to see Mary participate in like cult rituals where she's not actually devoured. They like pour blood on her or something like that and rub blood all over her. It's very weird, but you know, it kind of fit with Silent Hill. Like it's a weird shit like that happens in Silent Hill all the time. Just like unexplained weird shit, weird cultish shit, or just weird stuff in general. So that didn't really bother me. I'll get back to Mary in a second because I have to talk about Maria, of course. Maria, if you do not know, in Resident Evil, she's not in Resident Evil. In Silent Hill 2, she is seemingly she seems like Mary's twin almost. She looks exactly like Mary. She acts completely different though. She's dressed seductively. She's like, "Hey, what's up, James? How you doing?" You know, and she's like very seductive. Now, in the game, there's a big point. There's a big reason for that. And it was all about like James's guilt for doing what he did to Mary and all that stuff. We don't need to get into it. If you played the game, you know. This movie, she doesn't show up until the movie. Like I said, the movie's like 100 minutes long. She doesn't show up until I looked at it 45 minutes into the movie, which is fine for the game because it takes a couple hours until you see her. I think about maybe an hour and a half. I think a couple hours. Maybe I would have to look again. But that game is also 10 hours long, so you know, if you balance it, it's not the same thing, but whatever. Okay, when Maria shows up, she is in it for a big chunk of it. I would say about 30 minutes of the movie. But her role is definitely different because she's not as seductive. She does act like Maria here and there. She says fuck. She says she seduces a little bit to James, but not too much. She obviously has that really bad looking wig, which, to be fair, like I was even keeping an eye on it in the second watch. That wig stayed on pretty well, so I was even questioning, like, is it a wig? Because she's like running at times. I'm like, oh, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, it looks weird, but it's also like, she's running, and it's staying on. So congrats, I guess. Maybe it was a special effect. And it fell off, but they had to CG it back on because they didn't want to fucking refilm it. Her role is much more like companion that wants to leave, which, to be fair, Maria wants to leave in the game too, but she just wants to leave mostly. Like, James, let's go. She doesn't even tell James her name until about 5 minutes before she's gone. I never said, but my name's Maria. Also, I look like your girlfriend, right? I could tell because of the way you look at me. It's her role is not just diminished, really. It's also, it's not pointless because it's still Mary in some way trying to goat him and stuff. It's still, I think it's still supposed to be that it's really Mary's wish. I think that it's always like people think it was James that wished for Maria, and that's why she appeared. I always believed it was Mary that wished that because she wanted to, you know, be the thing that James wants, and she was sickly and stuff. She can't look like that, and I don't know. And so that's actually from her wish. That's where the DLC Born from Wish. That's what I assume so. I think they even have hints of that in that DLC, which I'm still fucking waiting for that in the remake. Where the fuck is that? Anyway, they should have just put it in the game. I don't know. They could have easily had like because it's a short. It's not even a DLC. It was just added to the Xbox version and the PS2 Greatest Hits edition of Silent Hill 2. They could have easily just added like a shorter version of that if they wanted to, you know. to the actual game. If they really wanted to, they could have easily did that just to have some of that stuff, but whatever. I expect if it does come out for it to be longer now, though. I want it to be longer. Anyway, so yeah, Maria's role is different. I really need to talk about this next part. Okay, I'm just gonna get to it. Angela, Laura, and Eddie. I'm just going to talk about Eddie real quick. Eddie is barely in this fucking movie. He shows up about 30 minutes in. He's puking, as you expect him to. The first time you see him, he's puking. He does not act like Eddie. He's not like a man-child. He's just like, kind of like, hey, what's up, James? This is... I don't even know why they put him in the movie. Because there's supposed to... It's not even a reveal. I think you're supposed to assume... I'm just going to jump to later, a little bit later. Yeah, I think you're supposed to assume this Eddie's not actually real. I'll just say that. Literally, he's in one scene. And he does the puking, he talks to James, and then they meet Laura, and then he runs off, and you never see him again. Which I was like very confused by. I was like, oh, I thought we would see... Because there's a bunch of reveals later on that are very avert, just like, this is what's happening. I thought Eddie would have showed up again and just to explain why he was in the movie at all, but nope. No. Maybe he's just a guy, but as I'm going to talk later, that's not going to matter. All right. So now let's talk about Angela and Laura. Now, Angela, of course, is a very, very important character in Silent Hill 2. She's another person that's in Silent Hill, experiencing her own thing, of course. I don't need to get into it too much. I will get into it a little bit, though. Of course, her whole thing is that she was sexually abused by, I believe, her father and her brother, right? In this movie, she is in it. Her name is Angela, played by the same actress, Hannah Emily Anderson, I believe. I should have looked to make sure it said that in the credits. Maybe I will. You know what? I'm going to pause real quick. Yeah, so she does. Because I will say they do a good job of making her look a little ghoulish, I guess. And even when I was watching it the first time and even the second time, I was just like, it looks like her, but it also could be somebody else. I was just getting conflicting reports because I think there was another actress like being advertised as playing Angela before the movie was out. I mean, it's still not out as I'm recording, but anyway, so yeah, she does play her. And then Laura, both Angela and Laura, and of course Angela, like I said, has a dark, very, very tragic backstory. I would even say probably more tragic than even James's. And yeah, her story in the game is really messed up. They did a great job in the remake with that, of course. Yeah, Laura is also just a girl. She's there. We don't really need to get into Laura's whole purpose in the original. She's kind of like the innocence. She doesn't see any of this weird shit. Angela, of course, experiences her own thing in Silent Hill. James does, and then Laura doesn't. And then I think Eddie's supposed to be experiencing something too. I don't exactly remember that. I'm talking about the game, of course, because in this movie, Eddie, like I said, is barely in it. And get ready for this, just in case you want to watch this movie and you're expecting Angela and Laura to be Angela and Laura. Guess what? They're not. They are different versions of Mary. And you know what's so fucking funny right now? I went on to Twitter. And I typed in Return to Silent Hill because I wanted to see if anybody else saw it and was just saying, fuck it, I'm just going to talk about this movie. I don't care. Nobody saw it, but there's a bunch of people there that are talking about one tweet. I wish I had the tweet here. You know, I feel like I should look it up. This tweet where someone saw the movie early, and I guess there was rumors about like Angela just being a version of Mary, and someone supposedly saw the movie early and said that's not the case. Actually, she's not a different version of I need to find this tweet. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pause again. All right. To be fair, I was being a little stinkier. I forgot what I said. This is for Limitless Neon on Twitter. Put up a tweet, and I'll probably post it here in the video. Hopefully, I remember. Let me just read. Hold on. Where was it? Again, this is a long form thing. Whatever. Where was I? just had it. Saying Angela is not a variant of Mary. She's her own person, played by the same actress. Blah blah blah. Because there was a thing where someone said something on Reddit, and I was just laughing. And I even put a GIF putting press X to doubt. And funny enough, they actually blocked me for that. And then posted a tweet saying like people just don't understand that these are facts or whatever, which I'm not shitting on this person. They truly believe this is the case, but they're gonna see the movie and be like, oh shit. So shout outs to Limitless Neon. I do not blame you for blocking me though. So I'm really not shitting on them. I understand. I would probably block me too. But this is it's just so funny. It's so funny because it's exactly that. And I honestly, I was kind of predicting that. I think I want to say I predicted that in my reaction, which again, you'll see probably next month. But yeah, her and Laura are both variants of Mary. And I'm going to say right here, it's a huge change. And I know people are not going to like it. But they do keep Angela's suffering in some form because it's now shifted to Mary. Because the whole abstract daddy thing, that's still in the movie. It's not touched on enough. But it's there. And then the Laura thing is very strange, but it's extremely dark and very weird and very fucked up. Because I think they're insinuating that she was, let's just say Laura's carrying a weird baby doll, which is really stupid looking. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really dumb part of the movie. Just the baby doll itself, it looks really dumb. But I think it's supposed to be a baby that did not live through childbirth, I assume. And she keeps referring to it as my baby, so I think you could kind of think where it's going. So there's a lot of really dark shit. It almost feels like this movie was cut up to make it less dark. You know what I mean? Like less fucked up. Because like they hint at the Angela version of Mary. By the way, if you're confused why her name's Angela and Laura, they actually do drop a hint earlier in the movie. They show you on a hospital thing to show the patient, because Mary still gets sick in the movie. So she is in the hospital. So that does happen. It says Mary L.A., her initials, her middle initials, Crane. So she has two middle names, which is not unheard of, I know. So they do hint at it there, L and A, like, oh shit, Laura and Angela. So her name's, or is it Angela and Laura? I think it's Laura Angela. So I think her full name is Mary Laura Angela Crane. All right, it almost feels like the fucking reveal at the end of Dark Knight Rises. It has that feel where he's like, oh, I like that name, Robin. It's like, fuck you. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, all right, so I will say in the context of the movie, I kind of like it adding to the tragedy of Mary as a character. It wasn't done as well as it could have been, because it kind of rushes it towards the end. It almost feels like they again, it was cut down maybe 10 minutes because they should have showed more, because we do see abstract daddy, but we literally see like maybe 10 frames of the abstract daddy, and they do it practical. You can definitely tell it's practical, but I appreciate that. I'd rather have that than fucking a goofy looking CG monster. But we see her on the bed, and it's a little bit more overt what happened there and stuff. I didn't mind the twist. I don't even know how else to say it. I didn't mind it because I wasn't expecting it to be fully accurate. Honestly, going into this movie, I still wasn't 100% sure if Angela and Eddie were even going to be in the movie. Eddie, I wish wasn't in the movie. They didn't need to put him there. By the way, I guess I could mention, Eddie, I think, is supposed to be a variant of James. I don't understand it really. They do mention, Eddie mentions that, oh, I want to be an artist too. I have a lot of fucked up things going on in my mind. And in this movie, James is an artist, so I think that's supposed to be like confirmation that he's a variant kind of James, but it doesn't go anywhere, so it's fucking pointless, you know. I guess it's supposed to show that he became a Slav, and I don't know. I think it was just thrown in there so people could shut the fuck up. It was almost like oh, what's the one I was thinking of when they threw in oh god, what's the oh no, I had like a good example of this where they threw in a character just so people would be oh no, it wasn't a character. This is a weird comparison, but it reminded me of all right, this is gonna be a stupid comparison. I know this is dumb. When they did that live action Lion King movie, and they had Be Prepared in it, it felt like it was thrown in there at the last minute so they could say they had Be Prepared because they said they weren't gonna have it or whatever, and people were upset, so they were like, all right, let's have a really quick version where they just like, he walks around and says, be prepared, be prepared. You know, it felt like that. Eddie felt like that fucking version of that song where he's just like, oh, let's just throw him in there so people don't say shit and have him say like a couple of things that maybe Eddie would say. Not really. He didn't say the pizza line. He's also not man-child, so it's not the same, but he does say like, oh, Jimmy, whatever. You know, and he's fat, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. But, yeah, that's the biggest thing that, I would say is a change here. I mean, Mary's backstory obviously is big, but Angela and Laura fit into that backstory, and that really is a huge reveal towards the end. So yeah, that's big. Just a quick a couple things here. The Silent Hill fog in this is still, it's fog, but it's also the ashes again. So they're doing ashes again, just like in the original Silent Hill movie, which fine. James himself, I said this, they changed him. His personality is very different. You know, he's honestly kind of just generic guy. He doesn't seem as distraught as either video game version of James. I will say though, like there's times where he does a good job of looking like very distant, very like, especially towards the end, like he has like that fucking 1,000-yard stare. So that's good. It's not really a whatever. It's whatever. Pyramid Head is the same, I guess. I mean, he looks good. He's only in like 2 scenes, so don't expect him to be in it a lot, which is fine. I don't think he should be in a ton anyway, but there's no like chase between Pyramid Head and James and Maria. They changed that. Now it's just nurses going after them instead, which is I guess a fine change. I would have liked the Pyramid Head chase. I don't know why they didn't do that, but I guess we had one earlier, so maybe they thought it would have been repetitive, so we have to put the nurses in there. Even though like the whole like context of the nurses and stuff is kind of lost in this. This is gonna be back. It's just gonna be a weird. We'll get to it. So yeah, Pyramid Head is the same, I guess, because it is revealed that it's just a manifestation, and it's James in some way. It's his way of punishing himself, I guess. It's much less overt in this movie, but it is revealed that it's James. He's the Pyramid Head, you know, and he's doing it to, I guess, punish himself for what he did, which I feel like I need to get to that. I'm just going to talk about the ending. All right, I'll talk about the reveal at the end with Mary and what's going on. Okay, so Mary's dying of being colted too hard. They don't really explain it, which is fine. They don't really explain the disease that much in the original game either. But here, like, she gets colted too hard. She literally, like, they do too many rituals or something like that with her, and she just gets sick, and she's dying. She's in a hospital. And it's pretty sad. Like, James is there, even though at this point they actually broke up. By the way, I didn't mention this. James and Mary in this are not married. They're not married, and they didn't know each other since, I think they were in college. Weren't they college sweethearts in the game? I think, or something, maybe high school sweethearts. It feels like they've only known each other for maybe a couple of years, and they're not even married. It's so weird why they changed that, because it makes it feel less like plausible that he'd go through this much hell and would lose his mind this much for someone that he didn't even marry, you know what I mean? And then especially when he kind of broke up with her, it's revealed later that because of all the cult stuff, he said, hey, it's either you and me, or it's me by myself and you with the fucking cult. And she picks the cult, and she stays there, and he fucks off in Silent Hill, because they moved to Silent Hill also. That's another thing I have to bring up, is that they live in Silent Hill. So when Mary's letter says, like, come to our place, it's not even fucking around. It's not a special place because they went there for a vacation. They literally live, they have an apartment in Silent Hill. So, all right, whatever. Anyway, I'm getting more agitated. Like, in the movie, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. Whatever, they change a lot. It's fine. It's as long as it works in the movie, and for the most part, it's fine. But I have to talk about this ending, because instead of... All right, so... Oh, my God. In the movie... in the game, he kills Mary because, you could say because she's weak and sick, and she's probably going to die soon, but, like, it's still, like, it's fucked up that he does what he does. It is. It's 100%, and he should feel guilty for what he does. But he does kill her in a sense of, like, feeling bad for her, but also he wants to be free from this. And a lot of that is sexual related. That's why the nurses look the way they do, and even the lying figures and stuff like that. And Pyramid Head is James because it's his manifestation of him, his guilt, and Maria is actually supposed to be a manifestation of his guilt, but it's also a manifestation for Mary. Mary made her, but it's still also a manifestation of his guilt. It's we can get deep into it. I'm just not going to. But the reason why I bring that up is because in this, there's no real reason why the nurses are in there, and they still do look sexy, I guess. I mean, they don't really go overt with that. And lying figures. And there's another creature in this that is a spider. I brought it up earlier. That replaces the mannequin that Pyramid Head does the weird thing in front of the closet with James in. You know the classic scene where James is looking through the closet and sees Pyramid Head doing some weird shit to a mannequin. Instead of the mannequin, it's this weird spider creature, which I think is still supposed to be maybe a mannequin, so maybe it's like a mannequin spider. But instead of like doing weird shit, he just like, Pyramid Head just like fucking beats the shit out of her, which to be fair is cool. By the way, that mannequin caked up, which I've already seen some people going like, why'd they cake him up? I'm like, did you play Silent Hill, bro? Every fucking thing is sexualized. But it doesn't really fit with this. No, actually, I'm going to take back. It doesn't really fit with this that everything's sexualized because we never get that. We never get like a scene where like James is like, I just wanted to be free of her and her sickness. Dude, when he eventually kills her by, suffocating her, with her rag that she uses to because she has nosebleeds because of the sickness, so she gets rid of the blood and stuff with her little rag. So he uses that rag to suffocate her and stuff. All right, sorry, weird cut there. I ran out of storage on my phone. But anyway, yeah. So the sexual aspect is not in this. It's never brought up. It really isn't. It's just like he just feels bad. Like he left her for so long because he didn't want to be a part of this cult. So he left her and he came back after, I guess, hearing that she was sick. And then suffocate her because she asked for it in this one too. She actually said like, please do it. So even though he does feel the guilt at the end, and I guess that's supposed to be where Pyramid Head, he feels the guilt and stuff. It's not as strong as the game because the game makes it way more selfish in James's, and I know it's supposed to be like, oh, he's selfish because he ran away. But like, dude, when you see the cult shit in this, I'm sorry, deuces, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like, he should have stayed to help her, sure, yes. Especially when you find out what has happened to her in the past. But, like, he didn't know that at the time, also. So, I'm assuming not, at least. Maybe he suppressed that. Maybe Mary told him at one point all the sexual abuse and all that stuff. But, it's never really explicitly said. So, yeah, it just didn't work as much. And the creatures, like, even though Pyramid Head's in this, and it still, I guess, makes sense, it's just, like, it feels very not right still, and that's the problem. Again, I said I still enjoyed this movie, but maybe I didn't as much because I have a lot of complaints. I don't know. Watching it, I didn't have a bad time because it was aesthetically pleasing. It reminded me of Silent Hill and stuff, and I didn't mind the story. The romance and stuff didn't really work, but I think the music carried it, and there's scenes that are really well done. The Moth Mary scene at the end, there's no boss fight. Don't expect that, but I thought it was very well done, and I don't know. I like that stuff. I'm really wondering what this is going to review, because if you don't know anything about the game, you're probably going to think this is a fucking dog shit turd. And if you love the game, you're probably also going to think it's a dog shit turd. But I don't know. I really want to know, because this could be like a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes or a fucking 0%. I have no idea. If they rate this worse than Revelation, we have a problem, though. I will say this is definitely better than Revelation, without a fucking doubt. This is a better made movie. There's actual direction here and like fucking camera work that isn't dog shit. It doesn't look like a pastel color fucking misery. And it's not jamming shit to the camera because it has to be 3D. So okay, all right. Let's talk about the Mary letter. We don't have a scene at the end where Mary reads the full letter. There's no full letter. There's no reveal of her being in the back of the car the entire time. Because he killed her, but he's still suppressing the part where he killed her. But it's all right. To be fair, it's a little vague. He does put her in a car at one point, but I think that's still supposed to be. You know what? I need to talk about this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What might be technically the biggest reveal. Okay, so there's a character introduced early, and even I was like, what the fuck is going on here exactly? There's a psychiatrist character introduced early in the movie. And this character is very, very important because this character is shown in like weird, like whenever she's talking to James calls her and talks to her and whatever. And you have to get over Mary and stuff like that. You have to move on. She's doing the kind of a shitty job being a psychiatrist because it's just like move on. Oh, you got your fucking PhD, I can tell. But she talks to James on the phone a couple times, but it's always like whenever you see her, it's like shattered mirror reflections and stuff. So it's like I think it's supposed to be fucking with you, like maybe this isn't real or something, or maybe it's just like I don't know, whatever. But it is revealed that I'm pretty sure it is real. He has a psychiatrist, and there's one point where he has a headache. He actually has a headache a couple times. And whenever he has a headache, James will talk about, Silent Hill shifts. So whenever he has a headache, whenever he's like thinking about Mary or the cult or whatever, you see flashes of the cult and Mary, he starts having a headache and the world shifts. That's when, because they do that again. Silent Hill 1 and 3 had that, by the way, the games, but the first 2 Silent Hill movies also had that, I think. I'm pretty sure 2 had it. I think I need to watch Silent Hill Revelation again. That movie's so fucking bad. But I don't know why. I'm just like, maybe I'll do a reaction. That'll be fun. Shit on it. You know, it's been a while. Yeah, so the headaches are the things that make it so that Silent Hill shifts, which I was okay with that. You still hear the siren, I believe, and then he goes, and it's supposed to be like the sirens making him have these headaches, but it's revealed later that the psychiatrist is not fake. I think she's real, unless it could be one of those things where it's bullshit, but I don't think so. You know, Silent Hill does fuck with people. And it's revealed that pretty much everything that's happening in this movie is in James's head. Which I know immediately you're like, oh, fuck that. But the way they do it in the movie didn't piss me off. It felt Silent Hill-ish, where like Silent Hill is still fucking with him. He's still stuck in Silent Hill in some way. Because Mary died there. He was there. He killed Mary. He left Mary at Silent Hill. The cult was at Silent Hill and they fucking pretty much killed her and stuff. All the horrible things that happened to Mary was at Silent Hill. So Silent Hill is a big part of him. So in his brain, like, he went to Silent Hill, but I think what the movie's trying to say is that he's not actually in Silent Hill. He's just like imagining all this shit. He's probably running around his house and stuff, thinking he's running away from like, you know, Pyramid Head. There's even times where he's running around areas. You do see his apartment. He's running around areas in Silent Hill that kind of look like his apartment. You know, I want to say there's a scene, I think it's the Pyramid Head scene, I could be wrong, where Pyramid Head first reveals and he kills that spider mannequin thing. I want to say, I think the area that James is in it might be the same as his apartment complex. I could be wrong. I might be reading into it too much. I mean, it's Silent Hill, so that makes sense. But I think it's supposed to be all in his head, but it's of course internal battle. So I didn't mind it that much because I feel like that's very Silent Hill. And I think they did it okay. So that reveal does not piss me off, actually. And it also makes more sense why the Angela and Laura thing is there. And even Eddie not really being there. There's even a homeless guy that gets killed earlier in the movie, which I guess you could argue might be James in some way. I don't know. That's maybe a little much. The reason why I'm thinking this is because there's a point where Laura traps him in a room. And it's supposed to be the... I think that's when you fight the... oh fuck, what are they called? The ones that like hang from the ceiling, the little box ones. But Moff Mary's in there instead. And she says like, come back when you're ready. And then that's when he dips out of the vision of Silent Hill and goes back into the psychiatrist, like the hospital or whatever. And his psychiatrist is there. And I believe you can, you know, make a recovery, James. And James is like looking off, staring out in the distance, and he still believes Mary's not dead and stuff. And then eventually he gets kicked back into the Silent Hill like hallucination, I guess. So yeah, I already talked about that. But leaves Mary because of cult. But I already talked about that. So yeah, he leaves Mary because of cult, so he feels guilt about that, of course. And of course he feels guilt because he also kills her. So I will say this. The cult aspect, it's not that it goes nowhere. It's an important part of it, obviously, because it's all part of Mary's backstory. But like, we never really see a lot of the cult in the flashbacks. We meet a couple of them. We got like the fucking white-haired lady, like kind of look like Sybil almost from Silent Hill, and you have a couple other characters and stuff. But it doesn't really go. It's just evil cult. And again, it might be the Silent Hill 1 cult. I don't really remember exactly, but yeah. The moth, they do change that a little bit, because I think in the original Silent Hill 2, the moth is supposed to be a representation of something that was beautiful, one that's now not, because a moth is like a butterfly, except it's not beautiful. Here, I guess it's still that, I guess, but a moth shows up like right when she dies, and I don't remember if that happens to be fair, I don't actually remember if that happens in Silent Hill 2, the game. That might actually happen, but so they have that. So if that happens in the game, to be fair, I haven't watched the game in a while. I probably will never play. If they do a full-on real remaster of Silent Hill 2, I'll play it again. Like, I mean, like the original game, obviously. But anyway, and there's a... Oh, what did I write? I wrote Never Let Go. Oh, because, okay. So there's an ending in Silent Hill 2 where James, and a lot of people consider this the definitive ending. A lot of people do. And the one that James deserves. James puts, of course, it's revealed that James had Mary the entire time. He went to Silent Hill because he was just like coping with killing his wife. So he had her in the backseat the entire time. She didn't die 3 years ago. It was like maybe like a couple days earlier and stuff. And he just went to Silent Hill because he kind of like broke out of, like he's completely snapped. Not like that, but like he's just like completely just negating the fact that he just murdered his wife. So he went to Silent Hill with this delusion that she's actually alive, and in Silent Hill. So, which the letter, to be fair, is like, the letter was real. It was just telling him to come here because, you know, whatever. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, right? Because to come here because I'm dying or whatever. It's the last letter before whatever. Anyway, that's why there's a long version at the end of Silent Hill 2. Anyway, so the ending that a lot of people consider definitive is the one where he just drives his car into the lake, you know, Lake Toluca, yeah, that's in this movie. Thing is that it doesn't really, because it's still in his imagination. So I think it's supposed to be like him letting go or like giving up. I think actually more so. Even though it says never let go, I think he's never letting go of Mary in his imagination version of Silent Hill. So it's the whole thing, psychiatrist trying to break him free so he can live the rest of his life without thinking about fucking Mary and losing his mind. So I think that's supposed to be him saying like, I'll never let go of Mary. I'm just going to die in this river. And when he does that and he just sticks with his imagination and he dies, it reverses and goes back to the first time he met Mary in the beginning of this movie. And then I think it's supposed to be like he's stuck in his imagination, so now he's going to try to do it differently. I think that's what they're trying to do with the ending here. And I just don't think... First of all, like it's kind of cheesy because it like doesn't... like James is acting way different than he did in the beginning of the movie, but he's acting cool guy. He even puts on shades at one point. I'm like, what the fuck? And then they start playing Theme of Laura, I believe. Which is a song, of course. Yeah. But it just doesn't really... The ending just, like... I don't want to say it doesn't work, because if it was a little bit more overt what's happening there, I think that's exactly what's happening there, then I could see it being a little bit better, but, like, it's still, like, I'm sure that's what's happening. He's still stuck in his fantasy. And that's how the movie ends. So he deals with Moth Mary. There's no boss there. He just kind of, like, apologizes for leaving, and she, I guess, forgives him, and you know, they embrace, and then the entire Silent Hill vision disappears, and then it's normal Silent Hill again. He carries the body, puts it in the car, and then drives right into the fucking water, and then they both are in the water. And so it's that ending pretty much. So no Maria ending here. Maria at a certain point just gets killed, and that's it. Like he says, I don't need you anymore. You're not real, Maria. And then fucking James's Pyramid Head shows up and fucking kills her. So she was kind of, yeah. I mean, they're teasing like, oh, we could leave together, which is an ending in Silent Hill 2 also, but he doesn't fall for that shit. So, but like it's the thing. Like Maria is not that threatening in this. Like this dude, the whole scene where she's like talking to James, of course the classic scene where she's in the jail cell thing or whatever and talking to fucking James and stuff, that scene's not in it. There's no scene like that in it. It's just like we couldn't give us that. We could have got some really good acting from her. That one scene could have been in here 100%. And there's no what the fuck is it called, what's the Pyramid Head scene towards the end where he's like the judgment or whatever? There's no scene like that. There's no rain. What is it called? Rainy Night, the painting. You didn't get that either. Is it called Rainy Night? There's a lot of things that are just not in this that could have easily been in here. 100%. There's areas that aren't in this either. You know, there's no historical society. It's just like, I get it. It's an hour and 40 minutes. They probably were told like make it, you know, relatively short. But this is the thing. If you're gonna make a live action adaptation of Silent Hill 2, I feel like you need more than a movie. You need like a mini series. That's what this should have been. It should have been a mini series, and they could have easily did this. They could have did Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, 4, and then ended there. We don't need anything else. You know what? Shattered Memories. Even though that's a remake of 1, so I don't know how you do that. But I guess you could kind of twist it a little bit, maybe make the characters different. I actually really love Shattered Memories story, but so maybe not that one. Do something else. You could do your own thing, But 4 seasons where it covers the first 4 games. Each season is each game, and you can even shift it around if you want. If you want to do 2 first and then do 1, 3, and then 4, awesome. They wouldn't do that. They'll just make a movie and barely drop into the theaters and give it barely a budget. But you know what? I'm shitting on it a lot, and I really am. I feel bad because I didn't hate the movie. It sounds like I did, but like again, I appreciate Christoph Gans. He's a good director. He obviously does like Silent Hill. I know some people have been shitting on him because of some of the stuff that's been coming out, and they're going to show him even more when this comes out. But I really do feel the love of Silent Hill. It's just, I don't know, maybe he's just been out of the game too long, I mean, not the game, the video game. I'm just like, he hasn't directed anything in a little while too. Like, I don't know. Brother of the Wolf is a fucking awesome movie, by the way. And that was like, I think his first thing he did. I didn't watch his Beauty and the Beast movie. I know there was a Beauty and the Beast he did. I don't know if that was good or not. But Brother of the Wolf, a lot of style, directed wonderfully, great characters, great action. Special effects are, iffy. But it was like a 2002 movie, and it was pretty small budget for the most part. I just really, this one needed to be nailed, and they didn't nail it, but they didn't fuck it up. So I get it. It's a small victory, especially since there wasn't a lot of hype going into this. If there was a lot of hype going into this, this would be more disappointing. But because the expectations were right, it's not that disappointing. Anyway, there you go. That's it. I mean, I didn't really give it a score. I would say like maybe a 6 or a 7. I know that's gonna fucking 6, 7. But I'll say 6.5 right now. That's probably too high, but like I might have to watch it one more time. But there's a lot of things I did like in it. I think the set design and the special effects for the most part are good. The creatures, whatever. Some of the story stuff does work. I do like some of the changes, which I know will piss people off, but I gotta be honest, I did kind of like some of that stuff. And I don't expect it to be a 100% accurate adaptation, but the stuff that was accurate was the best stuff in this, I think. Besides the changes with Angela and stuff. That was good too. But I mean, I'm talking about like when it comes to like, I'm talking about like actual scenes, like replicated one by one. I mean, one to one. There you go. Anyway, so that's it. I think Return to Silent Hill is a admirable attempt. It is not a straight to DVD shit fest. There was obviously a lot of attention to detail and love put into it. And yeah, I still enjoyed it, but it's not, definitely not perfect, definitely not great. It's a good attempt. And the only thing that sucks is that we probably won't ever get another adaptation of Silent Hill 2. But to be fair, like I said earlier, when you have remake, what the fuck is the point? Now thinking about it, we really like that miniseries. I think a miniseries could really work if you just have the time and really, get all the practical effects too, so you don't need to spend too much of money on it too. So you can take your time to explore each. Imagine every episode's a different like building or whatever. That would be cool. And go to the hospital. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. There's no endless staircase either, just in case you're wondering. And I should mention, I guess I didn't bring this up. The movie has a couple of jump scares in it. It's not overwhelming with jump scares. There's no Pop-Tart jump scare, but yeah, it wasn't like super scary. There's a couple times I got jolted, and the atmosphere was pretty good, but overall it was just going through the motions, I guess. Anyway, there you go. That's it. I guess I'd say 6.5. I'll say 6.5. That's probably too generous, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Return to Silent Hill is I guess it's coming out this weekend. Go check it out if you like Silent Hill. Thank you for watching. If you watched this whole thing, all right. That's it. Bye.